All right, kids. So yesterday, let me see if I can make this bigger. Yesterday, it did not, we didn't do a great job going over the review. So what I'm going to do is I have some of the questions that I feel like are most important for you to go over. I'm going to upload the review. The test is not going to be today, so please don't freak out. I'm not real great at recording, so it's not going to be pretty, anything like that. But we're going to get through it. So let's look at number one. Number one says, what is the sum of the solutions of the two equations below? So I'm going to make myself a note. Sum of the two. Sum means to add. So first I'm going to solve these two equations. I have 2x equals 19, and I have 6x plus 8 equals 116. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 on this one. X is equal to 9.5. I'm going to start by subtracting 8 for this one, and I get 6x is equal to 108. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 6, and I get x is equal to 18. I'm still not finished. It wanted the sum of the two equations. So I'm going to take 9.5, and I'm going to add 18, and I'm going to get 27.5 as my answer. Okay, let's look at number two. So number two wants, which of the following is the solution statement for the inequality below? So I'm looking for the solution statement of this inequality. I have negative 26 is less than or equal to negative 10x minus 6, less than or equal to 24. So now I'm going to solve it. I'm going to start by adding 6 to all three. And I'm going to get negative 20 is less than or equal to negative 10x less than or equal to 30. Now I have to get rid of that negative 10, so it's negative 10 times x. I'm going to divide all of them, all three layers, by negative 10. That's going to cancel. I'm going to be left with x in the middle. X is, because I'm dividing by a negative 10 here, kids, I'm going to switch my sign. X is greater than or equal to negative 3. Again, on this side, because I'm dividing by a negative 10, I'm going to switch my signs. And I have 2 is greater than or equal to x, which is greater than or equal to negative 3. All that is fine and dandy, except for the fact it's written backward. When we are writing inequalities, we always want the less than, the smallest number, which is this one, negative 3 is the smallest, on our left. So I'm going to write negative 3, and we know that negative 3 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 2. So I'm just rewriting it so that it is in the standard convention of the negative or the smaller numbers on the left. So whenever I do that, I want to go back and make sure I've written it correctly. So when I read it right here and say 2 is greater than or equal to x. When I look down here, 2 is greater than or equal to x. Right here. X is greater than or equal to negative 3. So I'm going to look down here and say, look at that part. X is greater than or equal to negative 3, so that I know I've written it correctly. Yes, these two are the same exact thing. You're saying it. This way, written at the bottom, is written in the accepted math form. Okay? So while they both are correct, we want to write it in the accepted math form. So then we have, what's up, Woods?
Hey, do you have any transportation that drives?
Sure don't.
All right, understand.
Bye. Bye. So now I'm going to keep working. Number, um, what time is it? 8:53. You know what? I'm just going to work through. Not going to get through all of them. I'm just going to now skip to number 7. So I will upload the answer keys, but I'm going to work some of them out for you. And if you need help today while you're reviewing, you need to make sure that you ask me so I can get with you, or we can set up a one-on-one live. We can set that up for tomorrow. So here's what actually I'm going to do. Tomorrow during your class, we're going to go live, and I'll be there live in case you need help. Okay, so I'm going to write that down, make sure you see it, make sure I post it in Classroom. Let's go over number 7. So number 7 is a computer chip is 0.32 centimeters thick and is made up of layers of silicon. 0.32 centimeters thick. The top and bottom layers of each are 0.01 centimeters thick. Okay, and the inner layers, if I could talk, it'd be easier, are 0.05 centimeters thick. The equation, which equation models the situation? Okay, so what we have, if I were to draw this out, I have some layers. I have the top one, which is 0.01 centimeters thick. I have the bottom layer, which is 0.01 centimeters thick. In between it, I have some more layers. And each one of these layers is 0.05 centimeters thick. I don't really know how many are in here. This is a question mark. How many? I don't know. But I'm going to write the equation to figure it out. I know that if I add all these up, all of these total are going to equal 0.32 centimeters thick. Okay, I know that's hard to see. Sorry. So now I'm going to look. I have 1, 2 layers that are 0.2 or 0.01. So 0.32 centimeters equals 2 times 0.01 centimeters. This one and this one. There's 2 of them. Okay. Then I'm going to add the 0.05, but I don't know how many there are. So there's each layer. So since we're talking about layers, I'm going to use L as my thing. This is getting on my nerves. Okay, L is my, I can't even think of a math term. You know what I'm talking about? What in the world? Okay. The letter that represents a number. My math ain't coming. My vocabulary is driving me nuts today. So there is our, and those are really hard to see. So that's really hard to see the answer. But L stands for layers. So 0.032, 2 at the 0.01, the top and the bottom, And then we have 0.05 times our layers in the middle, however many we have. Variable, L is the variable. I could not move on until I got that thinking. All right, so let's do the next one. The next one I want to do is number 8. So number 8 is how many layers are there? Okay, so now that we got to figure out how many layers there are in this problem. So we're using the problem we set up above in number 7. And we're going to solve for L. So we have to first multiply this 2 through. So we're going to say 0.32 equals 0.02 plus 0.05 L. Now I'm going to subtract this 0.02 from both sides. And I'm going to get 0.30 equals 0.005 L. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 0.05. That cancels. And I found that the answer is 6. So there are 6 layers. All right, kiddos, number 9. Number 9 is what is the value? What is the value of x when 4 minus 7x equals 16 plus 5x? So I want to know what x equals. I got to solve for x. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to take minus 4 from both sides. The reason I do that is because I want to get an x all by itself. That's the purpose. I'm left with negative 7x equals 12 plus 5x. I want to move this 5x over to this side so that I can get all my x's together. So I'm going to subtract both sides by 5x. These cancel. I'm left with 12 on this side. I have negative 12x equals 12. Now I want to get x all by itself. I'm going to do the opposite of multiply by 12, and I'm going to divide by negative 12. And I have x equals negative 1. Okay, next one I'm going to do for you, kiddos, on paper is number 10. Nope, not number 10. I just can't see it. It's number 16. Next one I'm going to do is number 16. And it says Alan charges $40 per hour to give tennis lessons. He also charges $15 to meet them there. In the last session, he made $95. Which of the following equations represents the money he earns in H hours? Okay, so he's going to charge $15 no matter what. So if I want to go take tennis lessons, I have to pay him $15 to get there, to show up. So I know that regardless of how many hours I have a lesson, if I have a lesson for 5 minutes, I got to pay this man $15. So I know I'm going to have plus 15. That's my fee to meet. Okay. And he's going to charge me $45 per hour, or I'm sorry, $40 per hour. And this last session was $95. So the formula that we're using is 95 equals $40 times the number of hours plus 15. Okay, let's look at number. Let me get some paper while that. All right, let's look at number 19. Okay, number 19. Number 19 says membership dues for Planet Fitness are $10 per month. So even if I don't go to the gym, but I'm a member, I pay $10. Okay. Plus a one-time membership fee of $20. So when I sign up, I have to pay $20 for them to process all my paperwork. Andrew is a new member and he paid $140 in advance for all his monthly fees. Okay. So which equation describes a situation where X is the number of months where Andrew paid up front? So I want to know X months he's paid for. All right. So I'm going to say 140, that's how much you paid, is equal to the $10 per month. We don't know what that is, plus the one-time membership fee of $20. 140 is what he paid. Okay. The $10 is per month. X is the month. So 10 times the month. 20 is the one-time fee. He only has to pay that once. So that's your equation. Okay, let's look at number 20. Number 20 says, a membership dues for Planet Fitness are $10 a month plus the one-time $20 fee, and he paid $140 in advance. How many months did he pay for? So now we're solving the equation that we made above. Now, I put parentheses around that X. You don't have to. It can be written just like that. It's the same exact thing. So now I'm going to solve for this. I want to get X by itself. So I'm going to take negative $20 minus $20 from each side. I'm going to be left with 10X. 120 equals 10X. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 10. That cancels. I'm left with 12X. So Andrew has paid for 12 months in advance. Okay. Let's do number 21. Nope. 22. This writing is really small, kiddos. Sorry. So solve the inequality. 25 is greater than or equal to 1 minus 3n. Okay. I want to get the n on the side by itself, so I have to take the opposite. That's a positive 1 right there. So I have to take the opposite of that. I'm going to do negative 1. All right. So I'm left with 24 is greater than or equal to negative 3n. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. When I divide by negative, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to change my sign. I'm left with n is greater than or equal to negative 8. I don't really like, math doesn't really like the variables to be on the right. It really wants the variables to be on the left. So I'm going to write n is greater than or equal to negative 8. It's the same exact thing. Negative 8 is less than or equal to n. N is greater than or equal to negative 8. As long as they read the same, it is the same. All right. Twenty-three. Which graph represents the solution set negative 23 is less than or equal to x minus 10 less than or equal to 7? All right. So we're going to solve and get x all by itself. We got to do that first. So we're going to add 10 to all three. I have negative 13 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 17. So now I have to look at the graphs. I know that because those are less than or equal to, I'm going to have closed lines. Okay. I know my left number is going to be this lower one, so it's going to be negative 13. My top number is going to be 17. X is in between it. So on my number line, it's going to be darker in between negative 13 and 17. So remember that if you have, for your circles on your number lines, less than or equal to is a colored in circle, closed. Just less than, open circle. All right. So that's all that I'm going to put on the video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload and put in Google Classroom the answer key so you have them to look at. And then I'm also going to go live Wednesday during this time in case you need help. All right.